When I first started working at Emerson and Blake Marketing, I never imagined how much that job would change my life. My name is Rachel Carter, and I was a 27-year-old project coordinator trying to prove myself in a competitive industry. I was ambitious, organized, and, honestly, a little too hard on myself. My boss, Michael Emerson, was the kind of person everyone respected, calm, intelligent, and known for turning impossible projects into success stories. I'd only been at the company for 4 months when Michael asked me to stay late one Friday evening to finish a proposal for a major client. It wasn't unusual, I was eager to impress. What I didn't know was that night would lead to one of the most unexpected experiences of my career. The office was quiet, just the hum of the computers and the city lights reflecting on the glass walls. I was typing revisions while Michael reviewed the design layout. He was professional as always, but there was a certain tiredness in his eyes. Around 8 p.m., he stretched, looked over at me, and said, "Rachel, you've done enough for today. Let's wrap this up." I smiled, closing my laptop. "Just making sure it's perfect." He chuckled softly. "Perfection's overrated, but dedication like yours, that's rare." As we gathered our things, the sky outside began to darken with an approaching storm. The forecast had warned of heavy rain and strong winds. When we reached the lobby, the thunder cracked so loud it made the receptionist flinch. Rain poured down like a curtain, flooding the street almost instantly. "Looks like we're stuck for a bit," Michael said, glancing outside. "I'll order a ride," I offered, pulling out my phone, but no drivers were available. Michael hesitated, then said, "I live just a few blocks away. Why don't you wait the storm out there? It's safer than standing here all night." At first, I hesitated. Going to my boss's house felt strange. But the wind howled so fiercely it rattled the glass doors. I finally nodded. "All right, thank you. I appreciate it." We ran through the rain under his umbrella, laughing when a gust turned it inside out. His townhouse was modern but warm, dark wood floors, bookshelves lining the walls, and the faint smell of fresh coffee. I stood by the door, dripping and embarrassed, while he grabbed a towel. "Here," he said, handing it to me. "You look like you swam here." I laughed, drying my hair. "I guess I wasn't prepared for this kind of commute." He smiled, heading toward the kitchen. "Coffee, coffee, please," I replied, looking around. The house was filled with small details that reflected his personality, framed photographs from company events, a guitar leaning against a bookshelf, and a large painting of the ocean above the fireplace. As the rain beat against the windows, he brought over 2 mugs and sat across from me. For a moment, we just listened to the storm. It wasn't awkward, surprisingly, it felt comfortable. "So, how are you liking the job?" he asked. "It's been challenging," I admitted. "But in a good way. I've learned more in 4 months than in my last 2 years elsewhere." "That's good to hear," he said with genuine warmth. "You have potential, Rachel. I see how you handle clients, calm, thoughtful. You remind me of how I was when I started." I smiled, grateful for the compliment. "Thanks. Sometimes I wonder if I'm doing enough." "You are," he said firmly. "Sometimes we're our own worst critics." The storm showed no sign of slowing. Hours passed as we talked, not about work, but about life. He told me how he started the company with his college friend, the failures they faced, and the lessons learned. I shared stories about my small hometown in Oregon, my parents, and my dreams of someday leading my own team. By the time the storm finally eased, it was almost midnight. Michael checked his phone. "The roads are still flooded. You're welcome to stay in the guest room, it's upstairs. I don't want you driving in this." I hesitated again but saw the sincerity in his expression. "Okay," I said softly. The guest room was cozy, with soft lighting and a stack of fresh towels. I thanked him before closing the door. That night, as I lay awake listening to the fading rain, I thought about how strange life could be, how unexpected moments could reveal the real character of people we thought we already knew. The next morning, Michael made breakfast, scrambled eggs, toast, and orange juice. It felt oddly normal, like we'd known each other for years. Before I left, he said, "Don't mention this to anyone at work. Not because it's secret, I just don't want rumors. You understand?" "Of course," I said. "I appreciate your kindness." We went back to work Monday like nothing had happened, but something between us had shifted, not romantically, just mutual respect. Over the following months, he began trusting me with larger projects, bringing me into meetings I never thought I'd attend. I grew in confidence, and my career flourished. One day, he called me into his office. "Rachel," He said, smiling, "I'm promoting you to project manager. You've earned it." I could barely speak. "Thank you, Michael. That means everything." He nodded. "You've proven yourself, and not just through hard work. You've shown integrity, and that's rare." Years passed. I became a senior manager, eventually overseeing multiple teams. Michael retired not long after, leaving the company in the hands of people he trusted, including me. Before he left, he told me something I'll never forget. "Success isn't about climbing alone," he said. "It's about lifting others as you go. You did that, Rachel." That evening, as I sat in my new office overlooking the city skyline, I thought back to that rainy night. If I'd let fear or formality stop me from accepting a simple act of kindness, maybe none of this would have happened. Life is strange that way. Sometimes the moments that seem insignificant, a storm, a late night, a cup of coffee, are the ones that change everything. And for me, it all started with my boss inviting me to his house one stormy night, a night that taught me that trust, respect, and compassion are what truly shape our paths.